So we just had an appraisal done on 4 fourplexes, and the appraiser does 2 kind of different approaches to it. One is sales comps, so they look at the sales around that area within the last 6 months, and they come up with similar comps comparisons. And then they also do an income approach, and so they look at cap rates and see like how much rent is coming in, and they look at the net operating, which is your cash flow. So when you get into more of a commercial, which is 5 units and more on multifamilies, when you're doing a refi, there's more value on the sales comps. But if you're selling it to like an investor, the investor looks more on the income approach. They want to know that it has a good cap rate, so they want to know what their return is going to be on their money, on their cash. So there's different ways, different metrics to look at, like a cash-on-cash return. You can look at cap rates. You can look at price per door, price per bedroom. There's also a gross rent multiplier that you can use to figure out the value. So there's all these different ways of trying to figure out the value of the property. And when it comes to investment properties, it's mostly the income. That's what investors look for. For me, on a lot of my properties, when I'm doing BRRRRs, the income isn't that important to me. I'm looking for properties that have low rents, that don't cash flow well, that are, that need maintenance and repairs. I'm looking for those because I go in and I fix them up and increase the rent, and that's where I get to add value. And so it's a little different. Turnkey people are looking for, properties that are already cash flowing. I'm looking at properties that aren't cash flowing, and I want to take them and make them cash flowing properties. So yeah, that's kind of the appraisal thing, and they're so subjective. Like I was just talking to Scott, like I had one appraiser appraise this fourplex at almost $800,000 on the fourplex, and then the other appraiser came in and appraised it at $630,000. I mean, almost, it's about $170K difference in the value on the same type of building. Like how does that happen? And so I can tell you actually how it happened. I saw the appraisal. So the guy that gave it a higher value, he went a little further outside of Anderson, went more like 12, 15 miles away, and gave us some comps on properties that were in the 800s. And the other appraiser, he was looking at some comps that were closer, but still in the 8 to 12 mile range. So it's kind of unfortunate. I'm really glad I had 2 appraisers, because it's cool to see, like, wow, like opinions of appraisers can be very dramatic, and that can really affect your business. I mean, I could, like I was telling Scott, I could have pulled out $200,000 more money out of this deal if I had that one appraiser appraise all of mine. If he would appraise all of my units, the value would have been like $3.2 million on this property versus 2.6. So it would have been $800,000 more, which is wild to me that it could be that dramatically different. So keep that in mind when you're investing in real estate. Is appraisals are, you want to be conservative. I always try to be conservative with them. I was hoping for 650 on all of mine. They came in at 630. So it's still a good deal. We still win. We still cash out what we need to make it work. So it's fine. But definitely, it's a strategy. You gotta. And sometimes I try to actually get a certain appraiser because I know that they're going to give us a higher value. That's another thing you do, is try to work with your lender and try to schedule a certain appraiser. That gives you more confidence that you're going to get the value that you need. So think about that too.